Hi everybody and welcome to Wednesday, October 6th. For today, Chicos, we are getting into our story. For our Do Now, we are doing our 30-day writing challenge, day 26. I'll get into it. We are doing some building background for the Call of the Klondike, finishing up some vocab predictions. We probably won't get to it. The Call of the Klondike, our first read, but those first three things we will absolutely get to. Today is modified. We have all of our classes, new seats. I believe today, actually, I gave you guys some new seats. So let's get into it. Reminder, homework, your vocab context clues. We weren't working on it today, but it's homework. It's going to be due to me Sunday, October 10th at 11:59. Everything's always due to me on Sundays. Your vocab predictions also are going to be due to me on Sunday. We started it yesterday. I will show you an example of one in this video just so that you guys feel comfortable with it. So let's get into it. Our 30-day writing challenge for today is day 26. Describe your dream home. Provide as many details as possible. Feel free to add images to your description as well. I really want to see what homes you guys want to live in someday. Okay, then we went ahead and started building background for the Call of the Klondike. Before we do that, I'm actually going to go ahead and show you an example of our vocabulary predictions because this is going to be due on Sunday, October 10th at 11:59. So you're going to go ahead, I'm going to use first periods, Google Classroom just to show you guys. Y'all are going to go under Semester 1, Study Sync in Pursuit. As always, you're going to go Call of the Klondike, Vocabulary Predictions, okay? You're going to go to it. And you're going to go ahead, this is what you would be filling out. So you're going to list at least 4 facts that you learned today about context clues. One such fact that you can put down, this is from the video that we learned from Vocabulary. So if you're wondering, where do I get these facts? Watch the video from Vocabulary. Okay, one fact we learned from that video in Vocabulary is synonyms are a way to predict an unknown word's meaning. Okay, remember we learned, we use the word ornate in our examples. So if someone is describing a beautiful house as being ornate and it has a marble fountain and golden doors, we talked about the word ornate, that these synonyms, these words around the word ornate, can help us learn that this house is beautiful, it's expensive, it's luxurious, okay? So you're just going to list 4 facts. And then you're going to go ahead and once you get down to these 5 words, you're going to go ahead and predict what the words mean. So you guys have done this before. I think rub steak means someone is eating. Just for an example. What does grub steak actually mean? So grub steak, I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to go ahead and type grub steak. Okay. So grub steak is a noun and it means an amount of material, provisions, or money supplied to an enterprise. Originally a prospector for ore. Okay, using those context clues. Ore means gold. Remember, we're learning about the gold rush. Okay. In return for sharing in the resulting profits, okay? So, it's an amount of material, provisions, or money that is given to a prospector. Okay, so you're going to go back to your Call of the Klondike predictions. Grub steak actually means supplies or materials given to a prospector. Okay, I told you guys if it goes out of the box, just make it smaller. That's okay with me. All right, Ms. Ornella's got it wrong, so I'm going to put that little red X right here. Oopsies. That's on Ms. Ornella's. I apologize, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and take that little red X on the side. I'm going to put it right there because I got that one wrong. And then I'm going to go down to prospectors, crude, subsequent, and tenderfoot. Okay? So you're going to do that for each one of them. Again, this is going to be due Sunday, October 10th at 11:59. All right, once you finish with that, let's get into building some background, okay? I have my Prezi linked to this account. I also have it uploaded for you guys. Right here where it says Call of the Klondike First Read, not only do I have the Study Sync story, but I also have my Prezi presentation in case you guys need to see it as you are going through the story. Okay, so I do have that available for you guys. All right, I'm going to get into the presentation. I'm actually going to finish it most likely in this video, so tomorrow we will start fresh. So this is going to be the video that also goes over the notes if you need the notes and you are not in class. Okay, so the call of the Klondike. So make sure you have 2-column notes. I will show you guys in a moment what kind of notes you guys should be taking. Okay, in order to show you, I have a digital copy of the notes you should be taking. We took our notes on paper. I did not collect them this time, but I will be collecting them next time. I want to see how you guys are doing on your notes. Reminder, you should always have a title. Ms. Ornelas likes when you guys practice your headers, your Mendez headers. So in the top right corner, you should always have your name, right? Legal first, legal last name as always. So Ms. Ornelas, okay, your I'm so sorry, your class, ELA 7 or 7 honors, okay, period, I'm going to do 1, 2 just for example. I'm not supposed to say PS, okay, period, and then the date. 10, today's Tuesday, my goodness, chicos, I'm already forgetting, 10/6, 21. Okay, so you always have your headers. Make sure that you're taking that line down. For those of you that have forgotten how to already take notes, remember you have a line straight down the middle. Okay, before you put that line down, here's where Ms. Ornelas slightly made a mistake. Make sure to write your essential question. So I'm going to use this little text box right here. So I can write essential question. Write it out, don't be lazy, and your main idea, okay? You can flip-flop these. Sometimes I will, I like my essential question before my main idea, but I want you guys also to be comfortable with how Ms. Arroyo will have you guys take notes in the future. So, main idea, essential question. Our main idea for this session is going to be is the history and present day of the Klondike. Okay, something super simple for you guys. The history and present day. The history of the Klondike is really what I'm presenting it on. I did talk a little bit about present day, but the history of the Klondike, okay, and Yukon region. All right, our essential question. Oh, it's Yukon, not you, John. Our essential question for this class is focused on how can context clues improve our understanding of a story. Okay. Remember, we wrote this on paper. I'm just writing it digital so you guys can see as I go along. Okay? All right. Then I had you guys always subsection 1. Okay, subsection 1 for this is going to be what is the Klondike? All right. Then you're going to write your notes here and your question on the right. So I'm going to put notes and then question. Okay. It's very similar to the paper I gave you. I want to see you guys start really working on these notes. I might have your next set of notes for our next story be electronic just so I can see them a little bit more. Okay, let's get into building some background, shall we? Okay, so what is the Klondike? On the dictionary definition, the Klondike is a region of the Yukon Territory, northwest Canada, east of the Alaskan border. It lies around the Klondike River. It's a small river that enters from Yukon City. From the east of Dawson City, the Klondike is famed due to the Klondike Gold Rush, which started in 1896 and lasted until 1899. Trust me, even in class you guys were like, what? Let's get into it. So location. Where is the Klondike located? So the Klondike's actually located between Alaska and Canada. So I showed you guys in class, but see this little part right here? This is California. This is San Francisco, if you've ever been to it. A little bit above that, here's Oregon. Here's Washington. And you see this little line right here? This is actually Canada, chicos. This is where Canada starts. Okay, all of this is Canada. However, this is Alaska. Alaska is part of the United States, okay? So the Klondike region is kind of all of this. Here is Dawson City, the city we will be talking about today. right here where it says Yukon Territory. This is really close to what the Yukon is, or where the Klondike is. Here's the Yukon River that we just talked about, and how it touches all of this. Here's Fort Yukon. And then right here it says US and Canada too. Okay. Here's Chilkoot Pass, and we will be learning a little bit about Chilkoot Pass. Okay. So that is where the Klondike is located. I expect you to take a note on the location of the Klondike. That's just simple. So the Klondike is located between Canada and the US, or the United States. Okay, next. Climate. The climate tends to be warm in the short summer and very cold during the long winter. By late October, so it's beginning of October when I'm filming this, so in about 2 weeks, ice will have formed over all the rivers. For the majority of the year, the ground is frozen from 1 to 3 meters, so that's 3 to 10 feet, so that's like this image right here, and it's known as subarctic, okay, that's important, it's subarctic here. During the June solstice, the sun is in the sky for a full 24 hours in the Yukon, but during the winter solstice, so during December, the Yukoners can spend 24 hours in complete darkness with the sun staying below the horizon for a full day. So the entire just kind of state stays in that darkness, or that region stays in darkness, okay? So make a note about the climate in your notes. Okay. It is known as subarctic. Can have darkness for 24 hours. Okay. You can also even say things like it has harsh conditions. This isn't a place that is easy to live in, chicos. Okay. So that's just a little bit about the Klondike. What is the Klondike? Okay, so that's going to be subsection 1. So go ahead in your notes, right here under the question, you're going to go ahead and write a question that you have. One question Mr. Nellis has is, how do people survive in these climates? Okay. So that would be just one section of your notes, chicos. This is really what I expect your notes to kind of always look like. Okay. Now I'm going to go to my second page, okay? Subsection 2. Subsection 2 is different. I just duplicated my slide so you guys could see essentially it's the same thing. Subsection 2 is the Klondike's history. Okay, so in our notes, we're going to go ahead and put the Klondike's history. Okay? Alright, and you're going to take notes and question. I will no longer take notes or put any of that questions. You guys can do that on your own. We watched this brief video. You can click it in my Prezi slide. And I had you guys take notes on this video to learn a little bit more about life in the gold rush. You guys learned why Chilkoot Pass was such a challenge. How did the miners get to Lake Bennett to the gold fields around Dawson City, the significance of El Dorado Creek, and why it wasn't possible for miners to simply just scoop up the gold. So you watch that, take a few notes, write your question, and then we're going back to our next topic, which is the Klondike now. So same thing, now we're starting a new subtopic. We learned about Dawson City, one of the bigger cities in the Yukon, what its culture looks like, its artists, its indigenous groups or First Nations. We learned about that. I clicked through. You guys took a brief note on the city, wrote a brief question. You guys should be used to the pattern now. And then we watched in Study Sync the intro video for our next story, The Call of the Klondike. So you can go watch it in Study Sync. It is assigned to you. It's going to stay step 1, 2, and 3. You're just going to watch that intro video, take a brief note, your question, of course, and then for your final step, you're going to make sure that you complete your summary. So instead of your subsection 2, remember it should say keyword down at the bottom. So any keywords that you found in this presentation, I have you annotate your notes again. And then this should say your summary. Remember, it's 3 to 5 sentences. I will be checking these in the future, but that is what we did for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me.